Chris here with High Seas Cruising, and welcome to today's video. Now, right after the effects of Hurricane Helene, we still have parts of the country trying to recover, trying to get on with their lives, trying to survive the devastation and loss they have already faced. And now right behind it, we have Hurricane Milton. Now, as of this morning, Hurricane Milton has become a Category 2 hurricane, is heading towards the coast of Florida, is expected to impact roughly right around the port of Tampa here in the next couple of days. And it is definitely going to have an impact on cruising, and it has already had an impact on cruising. We already have a list of itinerary changes and possible itinerary changes. Now, for the Carnival Paradise sailing out of Tampa, Florida, and the Carnival Elation sailing out of Jacksonville, they have not released itinerary changes yet. According to Carnival, the Fleet Operations Center, it is actively monitoring Hurricane Milton. However, they do recommend that if you have an upcoming sailing on either of those two ships, sign up for the text alerts. Okay, now you can sign up for the text alerts by visiting the cruise manager on carnival.com or by texting the code below to cruise at 278473. You'll do CCL1 for the Elation on the October 10th sailing and CCL2 for the Carnival Paradise October 10th sailing. Now, it's a good idea to sign up for this. Almost everybody uses a smartphone, or somebody in your party will have a smartphone. If there's going to be any itinerary changes, if they're going to delay the cruise, change your embarkation times, they will text that information to you. But as of the filming of this video, no changes have been made to those particular cruises. Now, the only change Carnival has currently made is on the Carnival Pride, which sailed yesterday from Baltimore, Maryland, sailing to Bermuda, and they essentially moved up their Bermuda stops by 1 day. So they're going to arrive to Bermuda earlier, and they are going to depart Bermuda earlier in order to stay out of the path of the storm once it clears Florida. Now, Royal Caribbean has changed the itinerary for 5 of their cruise ships. So Harmony of the Seas, departing from Galveston, Texas, departed yesterday, will be skipping the port stop in Roatan, Honduras. Symphony of the Seas, which departed Cape Liberty, New Jersey, will skip the scheduled port stop in Port Canaveral, Florida, is replacing that with a sea day, and is also skipping Nassau, Bahamas, and Perfect Day at Coco Cay, and will head to the Dominican Republic and Labrador. Wonder of the Seas is skipping Roatan, Honduras, and Costa Maya, Mexico, and instead will be going to Cozumel, Mexico, and Falmouth, Jamaica. Utopia of the Seas will simply be reordering the itinerary, still going to all of the stops, just taking them in a different order. And Grandeur of the Seas, scheduled to go to Cozumel, Mexico, and Costa Maya, Mexico, will skip those two stops and instead only be going to Nassau, Bahamas. And finally, a big change for Margaritaville at Sea. The Margaritaville at Sea Islander, originally scheduled to sail here on the 8th tomorrow, has instead moved their embarkation to today, which means that cruise is going out 1 day earlier. For those currently on the ship, of course, that means a shortened cruise. And those embarking on the ship, instead of being a 5-night cruise, are now getting a 6-night cruise. So hopefully those folks that were scheduled to get on the ship tomorrow will still be able to make it and be getting on the ship today. And an extra free night on board the cruise ship, yeah, that's great. However, a lot of people make travel plans where they are scheduled to arrive in the port the day ahead of time, may not be until in the afternoon. And so if they're going to get there earlier in time to get on the ship, make embarkation, there's some folks out there that will have to scramble to get earlier flights, arrange earlier transportation to make the ship. So hopefully everybody who wanted to be on the ship will make it today, because these storms cause last-minute itinerary changes. And while it's definitely stressful if you go to your cruise only to find out you won't be boarding when you were supposed to, your cruise has been delayed by a day or two, ports are closed, ship can't get into port, now you're trying to scramble, find hotels, find places to stay, your vacation has been shortened. That right there is stressful enough. But finding out the day before that, hey, guess what? Your cruise is leaving a whole 24 hours earlier than planned can also be just as stressful. if you had your plans all laid out to be there at a certain time. Now, we are going to continue to monitor Hurricane Milton, and we are also going to continue to monitor any itinerary changes as the storm continues to develop. If it changes course, speeds up, slows down, it definitely can affect other cruise ships, other cruise ports, and sailing going on in that area. So, if you have an upcoming cruise here over the next couple of days, keep in contact with your cruise line. Keep an eye on your email. If your cruise ship has text alerts, definitely sign up for those so you can be aware of any changes as they happen. And for those folks in the path of Hurricane Milton, you're in our thoughts, you're in our prayers. We hope this passes over quickly. Hope there's no damage, and definitely hope nobody gets hurt, nobody gets injured, and nobody loses their lives with these back-to-back hurricanes going through those areas. And finally, if you have a cruise, just remember, pack your patience, pack your understanding. Cruise lines do not control the weather. Cruise lines cannot control whether the ports are open or closed. And the safety of the passengers, the safety of the crew, and the safety of the vessel must always come first. All right, and that is going to be our video for today. If you've enjoyed today's video, do me a favor and hit that like button. If you haven't done so yet, do me a favor and hit subscribe. It is free to do so. Helps our channel grow. Let you know anytime we put out a new video. Hope everyone out there is having a really great day. And like always, we will see you out on the high seas.